And here's the video review for the Titanium War Within Optimus and Megatron figures. I want to thank GreenSpots2 on Twitter for sending these to me. It was super cool. He was cleaning out his closet and found these and sent them to me to review. And I've never had these before, so it was kind of neat. Now, as you can see, they're titanium. They're mostly die cast. They are very heavy. That's what something. If there's anything positive I can say about these guys, they're definitely heavy with die cast. Now, Prime, as you can see, is actually a fairly decent representation of his War Within design. Megatron is I don't know how you say this, bad. You can see, like, there's his transformation. There's this clip under here that I have no idea what it's for. The instructions don't tell you. There's just this random clip on the back of his waist here. So anyway, that's them. Like I said, I like Prime's design. Prime's design is great. He has a few flaws. The design is not one of them. I really do like his design, both in robot and vehicle mode. He just really suffers from the use of die cast, and there's so much die cast. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let's start off with Megatron first, since he's kind of crud. Like I said, this is supposed to be his tank mode from War Within. It's very clearly, as you can tell, just a folded-up robot. And then you transform him. You just unplug the shield from on top of his head and pull this cannon out. So there's that. Then transform the robot. You open up the arms. You rotate his upper body around. You bring the arms right back up to where they were. Extend the legs, and then flip his arms down out of here. Hide around the treads. Come here. There we go. Plug him in. Flip his feet up. And there's Megatron. A really rather uninvolved transformation. His robot mode isn't horrible. He does have... oh, look. They managed to give him that joint and not other joints that would have been more beneficial. Whatever. Anyway. He does have a really fat upper torso. His shoulders especially are... He had shoulders like this in the book. They were a little bit more proportionate to his body and especially to his lower arms. But all in all, not bad. He doesn't like to lock open. This cannon can come up over his shoulder if you so choose. Now he does have the shield, which the peg is not long enough to peg into the side of his arm. There is a peg hole under here. I don't even know why they even bothered putting these peg holes on his arm, because you can't attach this here. He has to hold it in his hand. So, there's that. And the same with this. The instructions actually tell you to keep the cannon on his arm. And you can kind of very loosely, it's really, really just sitting in there, peg that cannon onto his arm. Because this piece comes down way too far. You can see, like, to really get it in there, you have to bend it out, which bends the peg. So this, too, also has to go in his hand. So I don't know why they bothered putting these peg holes in his arm when he has to hold his weapons anyway. And again, here's this. What is that for? There's just this random clip that does nothing. I don't know. So yeah, he definitely, his design isn't great. And the die cast doesn't help him in this case. So he's kind of a, like I said, if I hadn't been sent them, I would not have, I didn't buy him when he was in stores for a reason. He's kind of crap. He's not he's not the bottom of the barrel. I'm trying to think if I played with worse. Yeah, the Titanium line did ostensibly get at least better as it went on. I remember the only Titanium I had before this was the Optimus Prime one. And that one wasn't too bad. It wasn't perfect, but it was certainly better than this. Megatron-Faticon. So yeah. Now the War Within Prime, like I said, it's a decent representation of his vehicle mode from War Within. The transformation is satisfying, which we'll see in just a minute. And I do generally like this design. This design really suffers because of the use of die cast, because As you'll see in a couple places, he's got this really heavy. He's really heavy. I mean, like even heavier than Megatron. He's definitely weighed down with die cast, which is nice. It's nice that they worked with a little bit with die cast again. But then he's got a lot of joints that like the main body pieces are die cast. A lot of his joints are soft plastic, and if you can't see where that's going, you will. It's kind of a disaster. But you pull his gun out right here. It just slides out of the back. As you can see here, this is supposed to plug in here. And yeah, so we will start out. We'll unplug the arms and bring them down like this. We'll extend them. See, that's what I'm talking about. Plastic joints, die-cast body. These do pop right back on, and they snap. But you saw, like, I wasn't really even being rude about it. And they just popped right off. And even when you get them in robot mode, because of this upper leg is all plastic. This joint right here is all plastic. The ball joint, it's attached to is plastic. The body and the legs are some very heavy die cast. The wheels are plastic, so, you know, whatever. And the feet here are plastic. You flip them out. But it gives him some... I mean, he's just wobbly. You can hear that. He just doesn't lock, just because of the plastic. The die cast is too heavy for the plastic to support, and that's a shame, because like I said, overall the design, even the transformation design, is actually pretty neat, but it just keeps falling apart because you've got these metal pieces connecting to plastic joints. And this, I don't know why they didn't put a pin in this. See, put that right there, put a pin through there, this wouldn't fall off, but they couldn't do it. So anyway, so you do that, you extend the legs, you bring this part down, rotate it around, and plug it in like that. And again, no latch here. This is just on like a ball joint to rotate down, and there's no way of latching the upper torso to the lower torso, which just makes this kind of floppy. And again, plastic joint with holding two die cast pieces together, it doesn't work very well. Now the arms come up. You can rotate them up, snap them in, so rotate the shoulder pads out. Rotate the lower arm around, and then use this little switch right here to slide. And again, he's just so heavy. And there's no pin here, again. So we're getting into my complaints here. Again, slide the fist out with the switch. Bring it around. And then you just bring this little piece down here. Pull his head all the way out. Snap his arms into place. And here he is in robot mode. And really, my only complaint about robot mode is that... his arms don't have any swivel, like they can't swivel out like this. They come off, which again is part of the transformation design, and I'd be willing to forgive that if he held together a little better. Design wise, I think he's really neat. I think they did a good job designing the figure and designing the transformation. Were he made entirely out of plastic, like most deluxes nowadays are, I think he'd be a great figure. I really do. I like him. He's representative of the war within design. I like that design. Also, he can put his gun in his hand. I think whoever designed this figure, from a purely technical standpoint, did a great job. It's just there's a tolerance issue with the die cast and the plastic. And the fact that the plastic just doesn't support the die-cast pieces. And all the plastic is on pieces like his shoulder joints. Like lower forearms die-cast, upper forearm, and the shoulder pads are die-cast. The important joint here is plastic. Same with the legs and the knees. Like I said, there's some neat design elements. Put a latch right here to hold this together and make them all out of plastic. You know, just put like this little peg there to peg into the bottom of the torso. You would have an excellent figure. You would have a great War Within Prime. Certainly something that I would pay a deluxe price for. But as it is, he's just a floppy mess. And I know you can fix the joints with, tighten up some of the joints with some super glue. I will probably do that. Like I said, Optimus Prime. You know what? From if you're just going to display him, totally worth it. He looks nice. His transformation's interesting. It's just those tolerance issues with the plastic and the die cast. And it's such a shame because they really did a really nice design job on Optimus. Megatron, I see what they were going for, obviously, because it's Don's design. I get what they were trying to do, but it just misses the mark on several different levels. Aside from the fact that he is a little bit more solid, they use less die cast in him to keep him together, and like mostly just his legs here and maybe his feet, and there may be some here in the mid torso. But he's a lot more plastic than Optimus is, and stability wise, like it shows. He holds together better. He's not a floppy mess, but his visual design is kind of crap. So it's kind of a shame. I think had they redone Optimus with the sensibilities of Megatron, where they did, and granted, Optimus was the first one out the gate. They learned their lesson from him, but he just, like I said, he's really nice. I like the look of him. He's very floppy and irritating to handle. Whereas Megatron is solid. He doesn't fall apart. He's not floppy, but his design suffers. So, yeah, that's kind of it. It's kind of a mediocre set. I like them. I mean, like, I'll display them. I'll put them up somewhere and display them. Prime I'll probably even pull down and fiddle with from time to time, especially if I get those joints tightened up a little bit. It's just, there's a couple little things they could have done with him to make him a little better. I would love to see them revisit both of these guys as regular deluxes. I realize they probably won't because of the War for Cybertron, but I really would like to see. I'd really like to see what they could do with Optimus if knowing what they learned with the titanium line and designing him entirely for just the standard deluxe line. So probably a pass, unless you get one cheap or free like I did. Probably not worth picking up. Although chances are at this point you either have them or you don't. I don't know anybody who's desperately seeking titanium figures. I could be wrong on that, but just personally. But anyway, there you go. There's the titanium. This was the Toys R Us exclusive 2-pack of War Within, Optimus, and Megatron.